The Namibian coastline is known for its strong winds and rough seas, which explains why a 500-year-old shipwreck like the OMDis would be found off the coast of Oranje. Jan, you built a replica of the original 500-year-old shipwreck, the OMDis, with your own hands. That speaks volumes about the passion that you have for history. Tell us about your connection with Oranje.
Yeah, I started here back in '99, and the plan was only to be here for 2 years and then to move on. But we got so hooked on Oranje that we decided to stay, and it's now 22 years later. 2 years is not expired yet. And in this 22 years, a lot of things happened, like the discovery of the shipwreck, things like that kept me here.
Jan, can you tell us a little bit more about the 500-year-old shipwreck that was discovered here off the coast of Oranje?
Sure, yeah. This ship was commandeered by King João III, and he actually sent a knight to Spain to go and fetch some money from investors, because they wanted to go and fetch some spices in India. This ship was captained by Dom Francisco de Noronha, and funny enough, he actually felt he deserved a bigger ship. But the king was quite straight to him, and he said, "This is what you've got, please go and fetch some spices for us in India." And he left Portugal in the year 1532. And along the trip, it was found that along the Namibian coast he got shipwrecked, and the shipwreck was found by Namibian named geologists in the year 2008, and it wasn't quite an accidental discovery. The geologist was busy in the area, and he saw two perfectly round pieces of rock, and he thought it was quite interesting that the bulldozer would have split that piece of rock exactly in the middle. But when he picked it up, those two pieces of rock didn't fit together. So he scratched the rock, and he actually found that it was pure copper ingots. And through the talkings with the bulldozer operator, he said that he also saw some pieces of wood, probably the mast of the ship, and some other planks in the area, and that made the geologist realize that he's most likely on a shipwreck site.
Tell us about some of the things that make this shipwreck discovery significant.
Yeah, this is, according to reports, the biggest shipwreck found south of the Sahara. It had the biggest amount of gold on it, the richest shipwreck, and it was also the oldest ship that was found along the entire African coast.
Wow, that definitely puts Namibia historically further up
Absolutely.
on the list. You've mentioned a little bit about the copper ingots. Can you describe some of the more interesting artifacts that were found on the shipwreck?
Yeah, what they found was 3 perfectly kept astrolabes, and an astrolabe at those years were like a modern day GPS. So they were quite in a good condition, which was great for the archaeologists that was operating at the site. There was amongst the wreckage was some silver coins, which dated 1499, which initially gave the impression that it could have been Bartolomeu Dias's ship, because he got lost in the year 1500. But when they discovered the gold coins, 27 kilograms of gold coins, but they were dated 1532. So that could not have been Bartolomeu Dias, and so that opened up the entire new research. But amongst the other finds on the ship was these copper ingots, 22 tons of it, some elephant tusks, and a lot of ship anchors were found along the coast. There were some zinc plates, and then obviously they also found some human remains. Incidentally, a boot with pieces of food bone in it that was discovered with the ship.
Human-wise, that's all, right?
That's all that they found, yeah.
History is all about facts. Tell us some of the interesting facts about the OMDis shipwreck.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the OMDis was called a now, which was in those era almost like the modern day space shuttles. Another interesting fact about it now, it's very similar to the ship the Santa Maria that was used to discover America, that was part of Columbus's fleet. The Now wasn't a very big ship. It was basically 30 meters long and about 10 to 12 meters wide. There were different versions of it. And the ship was quite heavy for the size. It was 210 tons. And what was also amazing, this little ship carried something like 300 persons. So that must have been quite a confined space.
Definitely. Now, considering your history with Oranje and considering this amazing historic find, what are your wishes for the future of such historic sites?
Now, my wish is that the shipwreck remain in Oranje. It's such a huge draw card for Oranje. We need to have it here, put in some form of a museum for everybody to come and visit and see what significant find we actually find here. That was found here many years ago.
Jan, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for sharing this amazing model that you have replicated from the original Bomb Jesus. I don't know how you did it, but I'm sure your wife must have been very patient with you during that time. Thank you.
My pleasure.
That was Jan Sutherland sharing his passion for history and also information on the oldest shipwreck found in sub-Saharan Africa. Thank you for watching.